You are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans? Welcome to your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, and I don't think we have any volume. Hold on one second. There, how we doing there? We got that? Word up. We got it. All right. Hey, word up. It's the code word. No matter where you say it, you know that you'll be heard. And I hope I was just heard right there. How good was that? Smooth, on the fly. Look how good I look in my brother's basement, by the way, in Connecticut on vacation. Beautiful time, and it's really family business. Some estate stuff with my dad, and I'm away here. So welcome to your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Sauber calling Grease at Jim Grease _ chilling like a villain. You know what I'm saying? Right here up in Connecticut, place where I grew up, enjoying it, and still bringing you all the shows this week. Going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. I'll be up in Bristol doing my ESPN shows on campus this weekend. And yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. Big one for the Canes on Friday. Those doofy looking Hokie bird, turkey looking thing. I can't stand the Virginia Tech Hokies. Okay. The reason that I can't stand the Virginia Tech Hokies, the Virginia Tech Hokies were fine when they were nothing. You know, you had Bruce Smith, no big deal. Andre Reed ended up going there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Virginia Tech got really good. Virginia Tech got really good for a while, and they started beating us. You know, they beat us a couple times in the Orange Bowl, definitely beat us times up there. There were some close games when we were really good against them, right? Well, Virginia Tech comes in on Friday against the U, so we're going to do that game on Friday, and then the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. How about that? Mel Allen would have said, but Monday Night Football for the reeling Dolphins, but the defense picked it up a little bit the other night in the absence of Tua. The playmakers aren't getting the ball. They got a lot of work to do with the Dolphins, but I saw some things. I saw some signs. I saw the sign, and it opened up my mind. I saw the sign. Anyway, the Dolphins are, I don't know what's wrong with me. It didn't take a lot of classes to figure that out, but the Dolphins are in a pretty good position. So you'll hear it up with Kyle Labs, Alex Donald, Locked On Dolphins, Locked On Canes. Big weekend coming up, all right, for both those teams. And then the Marlins playing out the string, wrapping it up. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. There you go. Just a couple times I had to say it. Because why? Because, wow, my camera's going to die soon. Because, okay, when you're talking about a spoiler alert, you are talking about a team that loves to spoil other people's plans, and the Marlins have definitely done that. Philly had to wait a long time to clinch the division because they were only 7-6 against the Marlins. They beat the Braves the other night, knocking them 3 games behind the Mets in a crucial game. I'll get to the scoreboard and playoff chases in just a minute. But on top of that, they have played really well against teams that are headed toward the playoffs right now. And the Twins, not necessarily headed toward the playoffs, so to speak, but here, I'll give you a quick little, you know what I'm saying, like a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a little tease, just a little tease, little Larry David, curb your enthusiasm there. All right, so the Twinkies are 81-76, and they are about done now in the wild card race because the Orioles are 87-70, and they just beat the Yankees tonight. So they could still beat the Yankees for the division, but then you still got the Yankees in the wild card. So if you're the Twins right now, this loss pretty much, I mean, you're 2 games back of the wild card spot, and you got 5 games left, man. Like the Twins announcers were saying tonight during the telecast, you are running out of time. The Twins had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to get the big hit tonight, and they couldn't get it. Credit to Ryan Weathers, who had a hell of a start tonight for Miami, and Jesus Tinoco. Ooh, I love that dude. I love that he throws 96 and his slider still is out pitch. I mean, it's awesome. He uses the fastball to set up that awesome slider, and I love Tinoco. He's great. So Tinoco, and we'll do, by the way, we got our star of the game, we got our turning point, we got our final score graphic, we got the embarrassment of riches created by our award-winning graphics department here at the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And with that said, I want to thank you. That's right, you, and only you, and you, and you, and you, but you, for making Locked On Marlins POSTCAST your first listen every day. You got to be a real fan and every day or to be here for this team. But I want to thank you very much for making us your first watch, your first listen every day. We're free wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. And once again, say it with me, your team every day. And tonight's episode brought to you by Booking.com. Yeah. The right state can make you a fan of any city, even your baseball rivals, those stinky, smelly, loud, obnoxious Philly, New York, Washington, and Atlanta fans. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, your baseball rivals. Book today on Booking.com, the official accommodation partner of Major League Baseball. Get the Booking.com app today. Today is the greatest. Bam, bam, bam. All right, where are we at? If you want to go and take a ride with me. All right, here we go. 4-1 Marlins with a big win tonight. And look, they keep beating these playoff contenders. This was an important game for the Twins to win. And by the way, if this camera goes out, I'm going to put it on my other camera. It's been a trip. I took a red eye across, you know what I'm saying? So oh boy, it's been a trip. Good thing there was no show yesterday because it was a calamity. Sometimes when you travel, it can be like that. But, the Marlins have been eliminated forever, right? The Marlins are clinching their worst record since 2019. They're 58-99, one loss away. We can crack those bottles. One loss away from 100. How many 100-loss teams? The Rockies might lose 100. They got 5 games left in 97 losses. The Marlins with 99. The White Sox with 120 Ls. They have won 37 games this entire season. Can you imagine playing on that team? I would kill myself if I played on that team. I mean, here we go. Toxic masculinity. He said he would kill himself if he played for the White Sox. Yes, I would. I care about winning. I care about being a professional. I care about getting the job done. And from what I've seen with the White Sox this year, it is just a disaster. And I'll be honest with you. I love seeing Jerry Reinsdorf lose because Jerry Reinsdorf is a terrible owner, one of the worst owners in the history of sports. Lucked out with Michael Jordan, got the 6 rings in Chicago, notoriously cheap and skimpy and underpaid Jordan and Pippen and blew up the Bulls dynasty and didn't bring back Phil Jackson. Jerry Reinsdorf could never, and I mean never, lose enough. In my mind, for me. And I think you feel the same way when you mess with the karma with the sports guys. Hey, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Get it? He's the Bulls owner. I'm so good sometimes. I love myself. Anyway, look at the Mets, what they're doing right now. They are tied with the Diamondbacks just right there in that race for the wild card. The Mets and the Braves are a game back. So check this out. The Padres, 3.5 games up in the wild card. They're 90-66, and that team's balling out right now. And with that bullpen, they might mess around and win the division because the Padres right now, man, they played the Dodgers tonight, and it's a 3-game lead, San Diego and L.A. right now. What was the score of that game tonight? Let me see. Oh, they're playing right now. It's 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th. San Diego with the lead. Oh, wait, who's up? Are they up or are the Dodgers up? Oh, it's the bottom of the 6th. The Dodgers are up. 2 on, 2 outs. Oh, Edmonds up for the Dodgers. Oh, Ohtani scored on an error. Betts. Yeah, okay. What did Ohtani do? Dude, he has a double. He's unbelievable. He's the best player in baseball. This season would be Barry Bonds' 12th best year, by the way, or 11th or 10th or whatever it is. So you can start with that. But 4-1, 2 outs. Edmonds up for the Dodgers. He's got an 0-2 count. And we will update you on that. I'm not sitting here and watching the Dodgers and Padres live on your Locked On Marlins postcast. But I will tell you this. The Padres and Dodgers are battling it out right now for the National League West. And if the Padres win tonight, they're only 2 games out with 5 left, right? But the other one's going to get the wild card regardless. And then you got the Braves are a game back, and then you got the Diamondbacks and the Mets, and you got 5 games left. So that National League wild card race is going to be – I can't wait for this weekend. I'm talking about that on these shows on ESPN Radio, game night, both nights on ESPN Radio, Saturday and Sunday. Check me out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. But you know what? Man, it is going to be so cool to see what some of these young kids do in the future for the Marlins. We're going to talk about that before the end of the show because with all the talk of the playoff races, with all the talk of how those former Marlins, Jazz Chisholm's energy in the Yankees clubhouse changed that team, they were stiff. They didn't have anybody like him. People running around, sliding all over the field, people like all goofy and giddy and getting autographs at the Field of Dreams game. And this dude, he just is a breath of fresh air in that Yankees clubhouse. He was a great pickup. Marlins traded him there. Tanner Scott killing it for the Padres. A rise, decent, good, but not great for San Diego. Some of the other guys that were traded away haven't had as big an impact, but when you look at the former Marlins and what they've done, DLC with the Pirates, they tanked as soon as they made that trade. Josh Bell, he just isn't. I don't think he's an everyday big league player. AJ Puck began the year in the rotation. He became a reliever. He's doing all right with Arizona right now. And we'll see, man. We will see what happens with some of these kids that came in from the trades. I can't wait to see Dane Myers play a full year. I can't wait to see Xavier Edwards play a full year. He had 2 hits, 2 RBIs tonight. Can't wait for that. There's a lot of things that you're looking at. Weathers coming back for a full year. Look, Luzardo was good for a good part of the season, and he probably would have been traded. Weathers, too, had they been healthy at the deadline, and they weren't, so they weren't traded. So Weathers and Luzardo and Alcantara coming back. And will Max Meyer ever develop into the number 3 pick that he was? Because just because you were the number 3 pick, there's that P word again, potential. It means nothing. No, it don't mean nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing. Number 3 pick, nothing. You know what that means? It means he's got a fat bank account. That's what it means. It means they paid him a ton of money because at that point in his career, he had earned that spot to be the number 3 pick, and that's where you get slotted in and you make that cash. That's all that means. There is nothing, absolutely nothing beyond that in Max Meyer's career right now. He's a bonus baby who hasn't bonused out. That's the way I see it. You tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. I no way. I mean, he is a bonus baby who has not panned out. Alcantara, the Cy Young Award winner, the Tommy John surgery, we'll have to see. Yuri Perez coming back middle of the year. Interesting to see. This team used over 70 players this year, a major league record. They're not as bad as the White Sox. Like I said, Jerry Reinsdorf could never lose enough. I'm late for a break. See, I look at the clock, and it says like 9:45, and I'm like, cool, set up for the break, go to the break. Then I look up again, and it's like 11:10 on the show clock. And there you go, Jim. Late again. Be late to my own funeral. But at least everybody will be waiting for me, right? It was going anywhere. All right, you're watching Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. What an awesome season it's been being here with you every day. Look, we're almost like suffering together, right? We're literally in a baseball version of a purgatory of some sort here because, look, you had the playoff year last year. You had the 33-11 record in one-run games last year. This year, you lost your first 7 and then first 9, and then 4 weeks later, you lost 7 in a row. So you lost 16 games in the first month on losing streaks, a 9-gamer and a 7-gamer, and it was done. It was over before it started. Remember, you started this year with Luis Horizon, Tim Anderson at the top of the order with a playoff berth coming back from that last year. And you have 2 batting champions at the top of your order, and they've gone so long ago. It's been disgusting. It's been gut-wrenching. It's been heartbreaking. I need to take a break. I'm going to tell you how heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, and disgusting what this organization and this franchise has done to the fans of South Florida over the years and never been able to connect with that fan base of rabid baseball fans from Central and South America. Why? Why not? Smarter people than me have been debating this for 20 years, but I'm going to give you my take on the other side, and I don't know that they're all that smarter than me anyway. I take that back. You're watching Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease because what would make them smarter than me if they haven't figured it out, and I haven't either. From where I sit, that would make us even. We'll be right back after these words. Actually, I'm not going anywhere. Neither are you. We'll all be here, but chill and hang out anyway. It's kind of like when you go to a commercial break, years of doing radio and TV, we'll be right back. And there was a big pet peeve in the business. Hey, they're not going anywhere. You are. But now I'm not going anywhere. I got this camera sitting on me the whole entire time, which is kind of creepy and freaky in a way if you think about it. But not in 2024 and not when I'm about to tell you about eBay Motors. That's right, my friend. Passion, drive, patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. And eBay Motors has got everything, and I mean everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. I'm talking superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit. Now listen closely, my friends. Are you ready? Gather around the microphone. Let Uncle Jimmy tell you a story. I'm sorry, I'm Uncle Jimmy this week. I got all these nieces and nephews. You'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time, every single time, or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, what are you burning? Not cash. You're burning rubber. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Man, it's just awesome. The commercials we have and the partners and sponsors we have with the Locked On Podcast Network, we're doing these commercials for FanDuel, Booking.com, Game Time. I mean, we're giving you things for your wardrobe, for your style, for your nutrition and your health, for football, for watching football, for getting action on the games with FanDuel, with Prize Picks, for traveling with Booking.com. I mean, it is just unbelievable. Game Time with the tickets. We got the hookup. Holla if you hear us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know that was Scott Steiner. That wasn't so good either. But you never know when the references are going to come out or where they're going to come from this soon-to-be 53-year-old brain. I mean, I've had a lot of data entered into this thing over the years, and it's all going to come out every once in a while. Besides this game, it was a good game for the Marlins tonight. They actually played well, and I was excited to watch this because, look, toward the end of the season, you've seen a lot from some of these young kids. Dane Myers kicked a wall and fractured an ankle in Cincinnati, and he was playing well. You know, Edwards playing really well. If you measure out or you just put out his numbers throughout, and you, what's the word I'm looking for? You just kind of push them out and multiply them out over the course of a 162-game season. And, his numbers are dope. So I like him a lot. I like Dane Myers a lot. I like Weathers coming back on the mound. I still think Max Meyer can be okay. Alcantara, I think he'll be a steadying presence for that rotation for sure. The bullpen's been really good, even after who did they trade away? I mean, Chargois and Brazoban and Tanner Scott and all these guys traded away. AJ Puck, right, gone. The bullpen's been great with guys like Tinoco. Tinoco was lights out tonight. He is great at inheriting base runners and not allowing them to score. Jesus Tinoco. Jesus saves. That's not Jesus. I'm not crazy. I don't want to. Jesus saves. Tinoco taking over for Tanner Scott. He's been the guy. He has been the guy. And for a while, it was oh my goodness, Lord, who was it? It was who was closing for a hot minute there? Why am I doing this to myself right now? I should know better than trying to think at this moment. But who was help me out, guys? Who was closing for a while? When Tanner Scott first left, and Tinoco's pretty much taking that job. Hold on, the dude got hurt. Where am I at? Come on, where's the pitchers at? Where the pitchers at? Dun 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 dun. He is not on the roster right now because he is injured, and I'll get to it. I'll find it. I promise. I always do, right? We always do here. Braxton Garrett, Sixto Sanchez, Mike Baumann. He's on paternity. Don't you love it when guys go on paternity? I never got paternity. I mean, like most baseball and athletes over the years just miss those things because they get paid millions to play a game and their wife can be okay with the millions. And anyway, I whatever. It's not my place to say. But it wasn't Nardi. Oh, it was Fauché. Calvin Fauché. That's right. Yeah, look at all these pitchers who are out now. Meyer, Fauché, Nardi, McMillan, Alcantara, Perez, Sanchez, Garrett, Baumann. Good Lord, it's been a year for your Miami Marlins. It has been a year. But you know what? I'm going to give you my take on this, okay? In 20-plus years, where are we at on the show clock? Because at the end, we're going to look at the rest of the series. We're going to talk about the scores. And we got like 2.5 minutes. I'm going to talk to you about the Miami Marlins or the Florida Marlins or whatever Marlins you want to call them. 1993 opening day, Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer, Jeff Conine, Mr. Marlin, Orestes Estrada. You know what I'm talking about. Your original Florida Marlins. In 5 years, a 5-year-old Joe Angels, you'll never forget that call as long as you live. A 5-year-old child has become king. The Marlins beat the Indians in the World Series, and they're not the Indians anymore because whatever. Anyway, so they beat the Indians in the World Series. Dump the entire team right after. Everyone's gone. Sheffield, Bonilla, Kevin Brown, Al Leiter, everyone's gone, right? They come back somehow in 2003 and put together another world championship team under a different owner. Huizenga's gone. It's Jeffrey Loria, who was worse. David Sampson still won't shut up. He's doing podcasts. Can't stand that dude. Honest to God, whoever puts a microphone in front of David Sampson, please stop. Do us all a favor. Please stop, okay? In 20 years, right? In 20 years, 30 years now, 30 years. But really 20 since they started winning. You got your foothold. And in the beginning, you shot a ton of fans. They have never been able to connect with the Central and South American audience in Miami that loves baseball. The stadium's downtown now. It's where the Orange Bowl was. And you drew, 100,000 more fans this year than you did last year when you were in the race the whole year? 100,000 fans over 81 games? That's nothing, man. That is absolute jack bleep. And you know that, right? So that's nothing. Why would you spend a nickel over what you've already spent when you know you're not going to top it for attendance? And that's what these owners have thought because they're running what? I'm waiting for it. Business, right? Of course, right? Huizenga's great at running a business, not so great at running a sports organization. Look, Wayne Huizenga, I love Wayne Huizenga. He was so cool to me. He helped me a lot in my career, did a lot of interviews with me over the years. One of the highlights of my career, Dolphins draft day, I'm in the headquarters hosting live with Nick Saban and Wayne Huizenga. That was awesome, right? And Jeff DeForest was at our headquarters, Defo, doing his thing. We had some dudes out at the U when the U had 6 first-rounders, and that was the year that Saban, I'm not going to Alabama. No way I'm going to Alabama. Oh, who said I'm going to Alabama? And that was the year Levitard had all his callers call his show and go, Satan, Satan. But, yeah, they don't call him Satan anymore. But my point is how bad it's been for the Dolphins since then. For sports in general in South Florida, it's been crap. The Panthers won the Stanley Cup, but nobody cares about hockey, right? So there you go. And I'm sorry to my friend Jonathan Zaslow and all my Panther fan friends out there, but nobody cares about hockey, all right? And especially in South Florida, but nobody cares about baseball either. So what is this team going to do to connect with those fans? What hasn't it done in 30-plus years? Why are these rabid baseball fans not becoming Marlins fans, not going to the game? They love baseball in Cuba. They love baseball in Venezuela and Argentina and Brazil and everywhere else. And it just doesn't take in Miami in terms of attendance, in terms of TV ratings, in terms of man, you know, I mean, it definitely, there's no consistency with the players. I think that's been my biggest thing. Like having players, you can actually have a jersey and have different jerseys for many different years. Like when Stanton left, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously the Jose Fernandez thing was terrible. There've been some bad luck incidents in there too. But it's been unfortunate because whether it's been this group or the Loria group or the Huizenga group or whatever, it just has been the fans who get the short end of the stick. You know what I mean? And that's okay with me. And I hope it's not okay with you. You're watching Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, Connecticut version on a little trip up here in the Northeast. It's beautiful. It's like 50 degrees outside in the woods of Connecticut, Norwich, Connecticut. Look it up. It's a beautiful place. I grew up in Waterford on the shoreline, here with my family all week. I got brothers and a sister and families and nephews and nieces. And, oh, man, it's just awesome. I have my son here with me. And my oldest, he's 22, so we're having a good little time out here in Connecticut. You're watching Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Grieshaber, Call Me Grease, scoreboard, playoff races, rest of the series. On the other side, Locked On Marlins POSTCAST right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Free wherever you get your podcasts, here on YouTube as well. Your team every single day. And right now, hey, it's your tomorrow. Right now, it's Booking.com. All right, this episode of Locked On Marlins POSTCAST is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com. Booking.yes. Yeah, whatever you want to say, right? The right state can make you a fan of any city, even your baseball rivals. And we have some good ones, right? We got Atlanta, we got Washington, we got New York, and we got Philly. Philly's clinched today, by the way, National League East. Not the Braves this year, right? But even your baseball rival cities can be dope with Booking.com. If you book today on Booking.com, the official accommodation partner of Major League Baseball, all you have to do is get the Booking.com app today, right? You can explore those U.S. cities you've always wanted to learn more about. And you know this, right? You know this, man. You know, so here's what I'm saying. Okay. Baseball season's over. You're a Dolphin fan, you go see them on the road. Canes fan, you go see them on the road. You know what I'm saying? You'll get those playoff tickets because the Canes are going to be there. They'll be top 12 in the year, be ACC champs in the year. You know this, right? But you could get a hotel, bed and breakfast, vacation rental, resort. If you want to drown your sorrows somewhere in the ocean or with booze, you can go on a vacation and check out some great cities with Booking.com. It's just awesome, right? You can go anywhere with Booking.com. You can go incognito to all your baseball rival cities. You know, you can go check out the postseason. The Marlins aren't there, but you can be one of those fans who go, my second favorite team's in the playoffs. I have 3 favorite teams. You like those people? If you're one of those people, hey, no judgment. Just make sure you use Booking.com to go see your second, third, fourth, fifth, or ninth favorite team. I don't care. In the playoffs, right? You can go to hotels that overlook stadium, family-friendly resorts, bed and breakfast, you name it, you can do it. And, of course, the right state will make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your baseball rivals. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. And that is right, man. Booking.com is dope, and so is, and you know how I feel about this next group. I'm on fire right now. If the Dolphins would have helped me out a little bit more, I'd really be up. I might be talking about taking one of those vacations that I'm talking to you about right now. And NFL fans, let me tell you something. Right now, you can start the NFL season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Here's how. When you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats. You can view live play-by-play and so much more right there on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets. $200 in bonus bets. $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. $200 is what I'm going to win this year. You can do it too, but maybe you're not as good as me. Maybe I'm not as good as you. Maybe we should talk, but we should all do it on FanDuel. Proud sponsor of the Locked On Podcast Network. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. All right, little programming notes here. Tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow. Twins and Marlins again from Minneapolis. Yep, so they play spoiler tonight. They beat the Twins. The Twins are still in the race, but clinging to life. I'm going to get to the specifics in momento, por favor. But check this out, right? Check this out. All right, so the Marlins win tonight's game 4-1, right? And you know, right, that the Marlins have been good lately, playing spoiler, beating the Braves, playing really well against the Phillies. And so they have a chance to do more of that tomorrow. And I'm excited to see what they do with that opportunity because this is a big series. And you know what? You might be out of it, and you've been out of it for a long time. You're trying to avoid losing that 100th game. You don't want to lose that 50th road game either. Your home season's over. You know what I'm saying? You're playing out the string. You've set a record for players used this year. You have had more pitchers hurt. I mean, good Lord. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a tough go. But the idea of kind of like knocking someone else out at the very end, I mean, don't you love that? I love what they just did to Minnesota. So I got my ass to Minnesota. Ice Cube. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely, it's fun playing spoiler. It's fun if you can't get there to knock other teams out. And this team's young. They're playing loose. They're playing free. Jonah Bride was great tonight. You know what I'm saying? It was just absolutely awesome to see how this team decided, you know, toward the end of the year. And look, there's a bunch of young kids, you know, players that teams gave up on and traded away. Contending teams gave up on these dudes, Norby and Stowers, and all these guys who came over in the trades that they made at the deadline. They gave up on all those guys. They were all given up on, written off, thrown away. Goodbye. Hasta la vista. Adios. Ciao. Don't let the door hit you. Arrivederci. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I believe that when you actually are in that position to knock other teams out, that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun at the end of the year, as the Marlins are now. So you got the Padres and the Diamondbacks and the Mets, and then the Braves. So the Padres have a 3-game lead, 3.5 in the wild card, and they're beating the Dodgers right now in LA. And I'll give you the score in a minute. Un momento, por favor. And then we'll give you the star of the game, the turning point, and the graphic for the score before we give you the scores and the playoff ramifications and get on out of here. But yeah, you got the Padres 4 games up. They beat the Dodgers, I guess, apparently. Did that one go final? Let me see. No, it's the end of the 7th. They're up 4-1. So the Padres they didn't score the Dodgers in the 6th. Padres are 4 games up, 3.5 on the Mets in the wild card. The Mets are a half game up on the Diamondbacks, who are the last wild card team right now, and the Braves are a half game behind them. So Atlanta 86-71, Diamondbacks 87-71, Mets 87-70, Padres 90-66. Who's still playing right now? Just the Dodgers and the Padres. Wow, that's a tight race. Orioles +4, and then the Royals and Tigers tied in the American League with the Twins 2 games out, Mariners 2.5, Red Sox and Rays. Wow, so you got the Orioles, the Royals, and the Tigers with the Twins 2 and the Mariners 2.5. So Twins 2, Mariners 2.5, 5 games left. They still have a shot. That shot took a big hit tonight. It took a big hit tonight, and that was, man, and the Marlins have been good at that lately. The Marlins have been in Jonah Bride. They scored 4 runs in the 2nd inning. I thought that was dope. They did a nice job tonight. They did a very, very nice job tonight. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. We already took a look at the standings, and the Orioles beat the Yankees tonight. Yankees haven't clinched the division yet either. Padres 4, Dodgers 1, end of the 7th. Rest of them all finals. Tigers 2, Rays 1. Tigers still alive in that playoff race. Cubs and Phillies 10-4 Cubs. Phillies clinched the division even though they lost, and they're not playing well lately. Reds, Guardians, Cleveland wins 6-1. They are 91-67, already clinched the division, Central in the American League. Brewers 7, Pirates 2, they're headed toward the playoffs. NL Central champs. Royals 1, Nats nothing in 10. Huge win for Kansas City, keeping them tied in that playoff race. Orioles 5, Yankees 3. Orioles not dead yet. In the AL East race, Red Sox, Blue Jays 6-5, Boston. Man, if John Henry would ever spend any money, there's another terrible owner that we had in South Florida. Hey. All right, next. Red Sox 6, Blue Jays 5. Braves 5, Mets 1. Come on out and beat the Mets if they beat them tomorrow. Severino got shelled tonight. Angels, White Sox 3-2, Chicago. They won a game in Chicago. Of course, Marlins 4, Twins 1. Mariners lost to the Astros 4-3. Astros clinched the AL West. Cardinals 7, Rockies 3. Giants 11. Diamondbacks nothing in Arizona. Ouch. Got housed tonight. And then the A's beat the Rangers 5-4 as their time in Oakland runs out, and they get set to play 3 years in Sacramento. I thought of Steve Summers, the old radio guy on WFAN in New York, the Sac-a-Tomato Canes. Yeah, the Sac Tomatoes. They might as well be. The Queens, as Shaq called them. I like that better. All right, there you have it. Then you're looking at the standings. It's going to be Yanks, going to be Dodgers. Phils already clinched. Royals already clinched. Brewers already clinched. Astros already clinched. Yeah, there's teams be clinching everywhere and right now. And of course, it's that time of year. Got 5 games left in the season. So yeah, the Yankees and Orioles both clinched playoff spots. Nobody's clinched the division yet. Yankees still have a 5-game lead. It's definitely going to happen. Guardians won the Central. Astros won the West. The Mariners, Royals, Tigers, and Twins still fighting it out for that wild card. And in the National League, Phillies champs of the East, Brewers champs of the Central. Dodgers, Padres still battling out in the West. Padres, Diamondbacks, Mets, Braves battling it out for the wild card. That's a pretty good rundown of the standings and the scores. I like the way I explained that. What do you guys think? Did that turn out okay? Let me know in the comments. You every day, or especially. Let me know if we're doing a good show for you here. It's a lot of fun. And people say, hey, man, it's been a tough year. You're doing a show after the Marlins every day. They bring energy. They bring excitement. They bring enthusiasm. They won tonight. They've been playing spoiler. They always seem to bring the tying run to the plate in the 9th inning, no matter what. So, yeah, I definitely think that this team has been fun. This team has been exciting. It sucks to lose. It does. But the games are good. The games are exciting. They're fun. All these players that they brought in, I love that. Over 70 players I've learned about this year. Next year, you got a lot coming back. How will these kids that were given up on by contending organizations, and you bring them in trades, you saw something in them that maybe they missed with, right? Norby, Stowers, Edward, you know what I mean? Like, and Dane Myers, so, and they're not all from trades this year, but what I'm saying is those players next year give you a lot of reason for hope and excitement. You got Alcantara coming back, and a lot of reasons to think that maybe next year, the Diamondbacks being an example, right? The Marlins could be like that. They could potentially be like that. And that's what I would like to see, and I hope that's what you would like to see too. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. Your Locked On Marlins postcast. Oh, baby, on your Tuesday. 4-1, they beat the Twins. Spoiler alert. I said spoiler alert. One of the funnest things I ever did, and that's not a word, is it? Most fun. I got to do the Walmart greeter thing. And I hosted an event at a Walmart one time, and it was a bucket list. I could go, attention Walmart shoppers. Attention Walmart shoppers. There is a fire in the trailer park. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't say the second part. It was a joke. Bad joke that it is. But you know what I'm saying? I got to do the Walmart bucket list thing. Got to do PA, all sorts of stuff. But it's fun every day being involved in something like this, talking to you about this team, and being able to be a guy who you can say, hey, maybe Grease taught me something today about this team and about the future, and maybe I learned something from you. But at the end of the day, man, it's still baseball. It's still pro sports. It's a lot of fun. We're here every day. Your team with the Locked On Podcast Network. 4-1, the Marlins beat the Twins. We are back tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a day. My favorite version is Lou Rawls, by the way. You know about Lou Rawls. The sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on to tomorrow. Lou Rawls, the best. Don't forget that. Jay-Z, Hard Knock Life, a little Lou Rawls in there. I heard that mix before. All right, so you got the Twins and Marlins. It'll be 7:40 Eastern. Tomorrow night, Edward Cabrera and Woods Richardson he'll face, and then Bayozo will pitch the finale. Then you got the 3-gamer in Toronto to finish out the season. Adam Oller, Ryan Weathers, who pitched great tonight, will pitch the finale, and the middle game is undecided. Real quick tonight, Edwards 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Berger and Norby both offers. Sanchez 1 for 4. Bride 3 for 5 with a home run and an RBI as well. Stowers 0 for 4. Hill and Lopez with a hit apiece, and Fortes 2 for 4 with a run scored. Ryan Weathers, 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Blake Bacher, Anthony Bender, and Jesus Tinoco scoreless over 3 innings in relief as they've been great, that bullpen, all year long for the Marlins. They got 4 runs in all 4 of them in the second inning. And that was all she wrote. Why is it she? What about all he wrote? What about all they wrote? What about all we wrote? See, I do everything around here. And the Twins got their run in the third, but the Twins just couldn't get a big hit. Good job by Weathers. Great job by the bullpen. They gave up hits. They had runners on base all night. They did not allow the big hit. You know what I'm saying? What were the Twins with runners in scoring position? They left 10 runners on base, and they were 1 for 9. RISP. And the Marlins not much better. 10 left on base, 2 for 10 runners in scoring position. So that's normal, though. That's par for the course for the Marlins. 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors, 1, 8, and none for the Twins. And there you have it. That is your Locked On Marlins postcast for your Tuesday. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Thank you for making us your first listen / watch today. For your second one, find Locked On MLB. Prepare for the Fall Classic, the playoffs with Sully. It has it all covered every single day. Find Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. We are free. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. We are out. Oh, wait a second. We're not out. I have 3 more things to show you. Hold on. Stay here for 1 more second. I almost forgot this. They're new, and I love them, so thank you for hanging out. I see you guys in here. All right. So first things first, I agree. Show you this. All right, you ready? Oh, wrong one. Shoot, that wrong one loaded. No, dang it. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Star of the game loaded, right? And we go. Boom. Jesus Tinoco. That isn't the right one. That is not the right one. Hold on 1 second. I got to get these up here for you. I can't believe that they didn't load. Where are you at? There you are. Okay. Boom. Come on. Live production. Keep on loading for me. All right, here we go. Come on. They're all just. Come on. Hey, boom. There's 1. There's 2. All right, there's the show. There's the score graphic. Bang. 4-1 final. They beat the Minnesota Twins. Look at that. 4-1 final. I don't know why that picture didn't change. It's bugging me out. All right, here we go. And then we got the... Where are we at? Come on. All right, we got the moment. Here's the moment. I promise I did these great the other day during the Canes and Dolphins games. Okay, here's the Xavier Edwards 2-run double in the second inning after Jonah Bride's solo homer, and that pretty much salted it away. Put it away for the Miami Marlins, and then you have your star of the game. Dun, 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 dun. Here comes the Bride. Jonah Bride, the star of the game, had the homer in the second inning. A big night at the plate, bunch of hits, and he's been solid, professional for the Marlins this year. Now we can tell you to keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans, because we are out. This has been your Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, back here tomorrow night, 7:40, first pitch right after the game with your Locked On Marlins postcast. After that, the third and final game on Thursday, all the Blue Jays games this weekend, and then, of course, Friday night, Hurricanes of Virginia Tech. Monday night, the Dolphins and the Tennessee Titans. It's been Locked On Marlins postcast with me, Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, at Jim Grease _. Thank you so much for being here, Miami. We will talk to you tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.